Thanks for joining us for 5 on 5. I'm Joe Sullivan. Pleased to be joined by Republican Congressman Cliff Bentz. Congressman, thanks for taking time from Washington, D.C.
Great to be with you, Joe. Thanks for the opportunity today.
What was your inauguration experience like yesterday in D.C.?
I think the best word to sum it up is very, very happy to see a new president sworn in and happy that it's Donald Trump. I think he realizes the opportunity that being president affords him far better now than when he took office first time 8 years ago. And so I think it was an exciting event. I'm very, very happy to be there.
With Republicans in control of the House and the Senate, there's an opportunity for Republicans to pass legislation. What will we see in the next few weeks in Congress?
Well, this week, you're going to see the Bruce Westerman Fix Our Forest Act, which is a bill I've been very happy to co-sponsor with Chair Westerman. He's chair of the Natural Resources, and that bill, if passed and signed into law, will help us get back into the forests and help reduce the chances of wildfire and do a lot of things that we very desperately need to do in Southern Oregon and, frankly, any place that has timber. Great bill. Of course, most of our time right now is being spent on what's been referred to as the Great Big Beautiful Bill, which will be the reconciliation bill, and it will have in it both an extension, we think, of the Trump tax cuts from years ago, and it will also have in it different cuts to different parts of the budget, and then other things that we think will help the economy and also help the border be much more secure.
One bill that you have worked on is the Klamath Basin Water Users Bill. Former President Biden signed it this month. What will this bill do?
Well, first of all, I am so happy that we were able to get that bill passed and signed. The focus of the bill is to prevent the government through the Bureau of Reclamation from imposing charges upon the users of the facilities for the cost of what should have been paid by First Pacific Corps and now the Bureau of Reclamation of retrofitting the 2 upper Klamath dams that remain after the 4 lower were removed. So it's a bill to protect farmers and ranchers, and it does. The numbers that we've heard are between $40 and $80 million to replace these dams, refit them, if you will, for fish passage. It's now an issue. Wasn't before, but is now, because those 4 lower dams taken out, and the farmers and ranchers will not be charged that kind of money for that purpose because of my bill.
A Coquel Indian Tribe Casino in Medford was approved. The tribe also owns the Mill Casino Hotel in North Bend. What are your thoughts on this casino opening in Medford?
Well, I think people know that I opposed the casino because it didn't go through the so-called 2-step process to make sure that the community was in support of it. I indicated that I would be more than happy to support the process if they used the correct one. They did not. Instead, they went through a 1-step process. I think it upsets the balance that has been worked out among various tribes across the state of Oregon, and I think it's going to make it very challenging to avoid what we will call a casino race, where more folks want to situate in Medford as opposed to just the one casino. We don't need that. We don't want that. And I'm sorry to see that this is going to go forward.
All right, we'll take a quick break and be right back with more from Congressman Bentz after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back to part 2 of our 5 on 5 with Congressman Bentz. Healthcare is a major concern in rural counties. How does Congress make sure there's affordable healthcare options in these counties?
Well, it starts by figuring out how, in the long run, we can continue to pay for such a thing. Right now, we're spending about $2 trillion a year more than we have coming through the door. So the first question should always be, how are we going to afford these kinds of programs? And so that's what we're looking into right now. In fact, I've moved from the Judiciary Committee over to the Energy and Commerce Committee. And there we will be dealing with, and are dealing with as recently as this morning, as I was working on various issues, the kind of question you just raised. What are we going to do about Medicaid? How are we going to approach these programs in a way that allows us to keep on paying for them?
The recent wildfires in California highlight the importance of forestry. Do you think enough is being done in Oregon to prevent a similar situation from happening here?
Not enough. Not enough. I went on the floor of the House just a few days ago and called out the warning signals that we've been receiving for years as different parts of our forest burn up, as the south part of Medford and little towns of Phoenix being destroyed by wildfire. We absolutely have to get back into the woods and remove the fuel that's been building up. It's not just the woods, it's the same situation over on the eastern part of the state with rangeland. And California's disaster is so terrible is another warning. We need to do something about the buildup of fuel.
We've covered a lot of ground, but is there anything else you'd like us to know about?
Well, I'm just so looking forward to the Trump administration taking over many of the agencies who have made it extraordinarily difficult to do business in the United States of America. And I think we're going to see some serious changes. And I think people have every reason for optimism as we go into this next 4 years. So, and again, I really appreciate, Joe, you're giving me the time to be on the air with you this evening.
We appreciate it. Congressman Bentz, thank you so much for joining us from Washington, D.C.
Thank you.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back with more local news.